Microsoft, exibição de tarefa, exibição de área, aptoid, Instagram, janela.
Antes de começar, galera, para valer aqui com o nosso evento da vez, lembrando, nós estamos já no mais um evento do dia, não sei se é o segundo ou o segundo vídeo do dia ou o terceiro. Lembra do like, comentário, compartilhar o vídeo, ajuda bastante o canal. Seu like é mais que um peixinho maroto. Tá ok? Seu like vai ajudar muito o nosso canal a crescer. E também nosso Instagram. Aqui, vamos a nossa meta de chegar aos 1000 seguidores. Se bater os 1000 seguidores no Instagram, vou sortear $50.
Foto by Mar, exibição, visão, área, marito e Facebook,
No Facebook.
janela.
Vamos também, galera, chegar lá na meta também.
Para Miami
Ok?
Reels. Exibição de e no
Então vamos agora
Instagram,
aqui para o nosso evento da
68,
vez.
DG, 60, bar 0 hora e 5 minutos. Volume deslizante 3% volume.
Lembrando que eu vou transmitir todos os eventos aqui no canal. É um evento aí maravilhoso. Vamos ver o que vai acontecer nesse evento aqui. Temos eventos além da... Mais o torneio da... Temos mais um torneio, continuação, né, do torneio, né, do Call of Duty. E esse aqui é da Game... Esse aqui chama torneio... Esse aqui é o evento da Gap Acessibilidade. Isso aqui que me interessa, hein? Porque vem... isso aqui é da edição 2025. Isso que eu acho esquisito, né? Da edição 2025 e 2026. Eu acho esquisito, mas eu vou poder sair o evento para vocês aqui. Faltam mais ou menos uns 20 minutos para começar. E eu vou começar a falar, então, aqui aproveitando o tempo, dos nossos eventos durante o ano inteiro. Tivemos já a 6, a Microsoft esteve na 6 com evento também, de PCs, laptops e entre outros acessórios. Depois ela teve no dia 15, perdão, o evento do Xbox e só tivemos o Forza e o Fable, que nos chamou a atenção. Ok? E também quero aproveitar, não só isso, temos aqui também. Tivemos o evento da Nintendo também, saiu hoje mais cedo, ou se saiu ontem, já não lembro, já que já não sei nada. Também tivemos o evento da Square Enix. Então tivemos muitas coisas rolando aqui no canal. O Call of Duty, o evento essa semana aqui no canal. Tô botando os eventos que durem de 15 e 1 hora primeiro, porque o evento do Call of Duty demora muito para fazer o upload. Então vou dar prioridade aos eventos como este, como da Capcom, como da Sega e por aí vai. Temos muitos eventos rolando durante todo o ano. Entre eles teremos Segundo os analistas, em fevereiro teremos o State of Play, um State of Play da PlayStation. Eu dou um palpite aqui entre o dia 10 e o dia 20. Entre o dia 10 e o dia 20. Ok? Esse é o meu palpite para o State of Play. Sobre o que vai ser, já falaram várias pessoas e também falei em um dos vídeos que vai ser Marathon, Wolverine, entre outros. Se mostrarem um pouco de Resident Evil, vai ser muito maçante, né? Porque o Resident Evil já lança agora aqui em fevereiro, né? Se não sei se é no dia 4 ou dia 5. Não sei porque estou gravando muito em sequência todos os eventos em sequência. E lembre-se, todos os eventos estou gravando em sequência. Porque do nada saíram todos os eventos, inclusive o da Bandai. Foi bem curto. Então temos aqui mais aqui para falar para vocês. Ainda temos Frontier, que não sei se vai trazer o evento dela mensual. Também temos outro que eu não sei se vai trazer também o evento dela, é a SEGA vai trazer mais um evento nos próximos dias, ou nas próximas horas, melhor dizendo, nas próximas horas. A Square trouxe no evento anterior o evento focado em Silent Hill. Perdão, Square vai falar. A Square fez um evento focado no boneco de um dos personagens do Silent Hill. Oh, caramba! Num dos bonecos do Final Fantasy, o Cloud. Então, é um dos eventos anteriores também. Aqui teremos também agora em abril, talvez abril ou maio, tem mais um State of Play e mais um evento Xbox. Eu acho que semanalmente vai estar saindo um evento da Square, semanalmente, com diferentes franquícias dela. Ok? Esse é um palpite meu. E depois vamos confirmá-lo nos próximos dias. Depois do dia 4 tivemos mais um evento. Vai ser, quer dizer que vai ser semanal, ou se não for semanal, quinzenal ou mensual. Ok? Ela deve ter algum momento que vai ser semanal e algum momento ou outro mensual. As coisas tem muito disso no ano passado, só que eu não cobri. Semanais, às vezes quinzenais e às vezes mensuais. Ok? Durante todo o ano ela fez isso, desde janeiro. Então teremos muita coisa da Square aqui no canal. O que mais temos aqui? Em maio, um State of Play ou um evento do Xbox. Ok? Continuando. Mês de maio, eu dou entre o dia 15 e 20 também para o evento do Xbox. Se não for entre 15 e 20, entre 20 e 25. Ok? O da PlayStation, dia 25 a 30. Ok? E já no dia 5, começa junho, começamos com nossa querida banda maravilhosa do Death Kill com Summer Game Fest. E lembrando, vamos ter muitos jogos indies, incluindo showcase de estúdios indies. Latin America Game Showcase vai estar também nessa lista também. Agora em março, em falar nisso, Latin America Game Showcase vai ter também o deles também, o showcase deles também, em março. Depois ainda, seguindo com os eventos, teremos mais eventos do Gamescom Latam. Gamescom Latam é focado na Latinoamérica. Depois da Gamescom Latam, ficamos só com o evento da Square e da Frontier, Capcom, Microsoft e entre outras empresas indies. Até maio. Também não. Até agosto. Então, de junho, julho, estão esses eventos. Ok? Todos que eu mencionei são de agora, janeiro, fevereiro, março, abril, maio e junho. E julho, ok? Agora eu vou mencionar agosto. Agosto também teremos vários eventos da Square, semanais ou quinzenais. Sigo. A edição número 25 do evento, ok. E agosto, entre o dia 17 e 25, começa a Gamescom de agosto, ok? 15 e 25 de agosto começa a Gamescom para valer, com Jeff Keighley desde a Alemanha. Uma semana depois, ou melhor dizendo, 4 ou 5 dias depois, PAX West 2026. Que mais? E terminando a PAX West, logo em sequência, Tokyo Game Show. A Tokyo Game Show e não mencionei, mas de agora de fevereiro ou março por aí começa a Mortal Kombat League e vai até dezembro. Eles falaram que iam ter a liga do Mortal Kombat igual que a do Call of Duty, que nós vamos trazendo no canal. Então vai ser direto Call of Duty e Mortal Kombat brigando por um espaço no horário. Ai meu Deus. E logo em sequência, entre dia 19 e 25 de novembro, 20 e 25 de novembro, temos a nossa votação e também os nominados, primeiro os nominados, né, do The Game Awards e a nossa votação será feita nesse dia. Talvez saia no mesmo dia, talvez saia no dia seguinte a nossa votação, porque tivemos problema do ano passado com a votação. Então, pode ser que faremos 1 ou 2 dias depois. Ok? Logo depois, a PC Game Show terá entre os dias 5 e 7 o PC Game Awards. E logo depois do PC Game Awards, e uma semana depois, o da Game Awards, dia 12. E entre os dias 18 e 20, a nossa live com a entrevista do meu amor, Maria Natália Gabelotti. Então, esse dia vai ser numa sexta-feira. Então, fiquem ligados aqui no canal para toda nossa transmissão durante todo o ano. Vai ser assim. Temos tantos eventos, galera, que trazer aqui no canal, que nem sei nem por onde eu vou começar. Tantos eventos. Estou trazendo na ordem que eu estou vendo. E lembrando também vocês também de apoiar o canal com seu like, comentário, compartilhar o vídeo. Ajuda bastante o canal. Lembrando, seu like é mais que um peixe maroto. Ok? Lembrando vocês também que eu vou estar com vocês também com a música do meu amor, Maria Natália Gabelotti. Já saiu um corte de cabelo do meu amor, Maria Natália Gabelotti, e a semana que vem sai um stand-up novo. Daqui uma semana sai o stand-up novo. Fiquem ligados aqui no canal, galera, tem muita coisa rolando. Consegui dessa vez, comparado com o evento anterior, que eu não consegui falar de tudo que vai ter durante todo ano aqui no canal. Mas dessa vez consegui. Até sobrou tempo, faltam 5 minutos para começar. Lembrando, seu like, comentário, compartilhar o vídeo ajuda mesmo o canal a chegar na nossa meta. Lembrando também vocês, teremos todo tipo de evento aqui no canal. As séries vão sair ao meio-dia. Os eventos às 4 e às 7 da noite. E o Call of Duty às 7 da noite, se for curto. Mas lembrando, como estamos tendo vários eventos simultâneos na mesma semana, eu vou dar prioridade a esses eventos, botar o código por trás desses eventos. Por que por trás? E na prioridade, porque isso aqui é prioridade, porque vai mostrar no lançamento dos jogos. Talvez caia o jogo nessa semana, mas conto com o seu view, seu like, comentário. Mas o COD já virou parte do canal. O Magic talvez volte no futuro. Então terei mais trabalho. Fazer para vocês. Muito mais trabalho. Também lembrando a vocês também que eu quero dizer a todos que teremos um sorteio, né, de $50. Eu vou fazer um vídeo quando bater a meta no Instagram. Vou fazer um vídeo aqui no canal do YouTube. Vou revelar o sorteio do Instagram, como vai funcionar. Se do Instagram bater primeiro que o do YouTube, vai primeiro do Instagram. Do YouTube bater primeiro as horas primeiro do YouTube, as do YouTube primeiro. Mas vai ser a mesma coisa. Só que do YouTube vai ser só para o final do ano. Então, lembre vocês de deixar seu like, comentário, compartilhar o vídeo do canal. Lembrando, seu like é mais que um peixe maroto. Faltam 2 minutos aqui para começar. Quando faltar menos de um minuto, eu vou subir o volume aqui. Eu baixei só para poder falar com vocês, porque meu microfone está baixo. Eu não quero mexer no OBS porque estragaria a configuração. O próximo evento do COD seria maravilhoso. Da terra está arrumado. Não pode ser quando vai cair os eventos todos, porque o do Final Fantasy vai ser o primeiro que eu vou programar, né? E aí depois o restante encaixarei conforme for passando as horas. Esse aqui, não tô enganado, vai sair antes do episódio do COD. Ok? Incluindo o da Square, também vai sair todos esses antes. Todos os 2 eventos da Square vão sair antes do primeiro episódio do Call of Duty, do torneio. E lembrando, porque eu digo vocês primeiro que o Call of Duty, porque o Call of Duty vai ser focado
região,
nada mais nada menos que horário só.
86%
Hi, I'm Tara
volume.
Belker, co-director of the Game Accessibility Conference, and I'm incredibly excited to welcome you here today for another edition of the Gaconf Awards. Now, before we get started, I have a little bit of information to share. In addition to the subtitles offered on this live stream, we also have 3 additional live streams to help make an accessible experience for you. Our other live streams include American Sign Language, British Sign Language, and English audio descriptions. If any of those would provide a better experience for you, please head over to the IGDA Game Accessibility SIG's YouTube channel to be able to watch them and learn more. You can find that on YouTube by searching IGDA space GASIG. And of course, I'm not going to be your host for today. That job goes to someone else much more amazing, much more talented, and so much better in front of the camera. The one, the only, the amazing, and my personal friend, Steve Saylor.
Thanks, Tara. Hi, I'm Steve Saylor. I'm an accessibility consultant as well as content creator. I'm sitting in my office amongst a bunch of gaming paraphernalia sitting on different shelves around me. I am a white male with blonde hair, big like black rimmed glasses, wearing a blue suit jacket and black shirt underneath. That's for, if you don't know, that's for blind folks who who are watching this and may not know what's actually going on screen. So if you're watching this on IGN, that's why. We're going to do those. If you never knew what those descriptions were, that's what they're for. Anyway, hi, welcome, and I'm going to be your host for the Game Accessibility Conference Awards for 2025. 2025 was a packed year with all kinds of wins to celebrate, and that's exactly what we're here for today. And not just for the people who work on accessibility that take home the trophies, but all of the finalists are people at absolutely the top of their industry, doing incredible work and changing gaming for the better. But before we get into the show, let's talk. You know, just one-on-one, okay? Oh, hold on a sec. All right. So for those who don't know, I just switched over to a different camera angle. Don't worry, audio described narrators. I'm only going to do this transition once. So 2025 was an amazing and also heartbreaking year for accessibility. Unfortunately, we've lost folks in the industry that were absolute titans in accessibility. We've also, unfortunately, lost faith in folks in the accessibility community that hopefully now that the dust is settled, that we'll be able to start to grow back that trust in 2026 and beyond. And accessibility has been amazing this past year. It may seem bleak with the political climate that is happening in the industry or just in the world in general, but accessibility work still goes on and still needs to go on. I want to encourage anyone who is watching this who may have either sort of thought that accessibility hasn't been talked about as much or hasn't been trending as much. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Accessibility work is still happening behind the scenes at a lot of studios. You're going to see a lot of nominations from studios today who have tried accessibility for the first time and have made award-nominated work, and they may win some awards tonight. So to say that accessibility has been slacking or been lacking, that's up to kind of anyone's sort of personal opinion. I mean, sure, not every game has been a release that has been fully accessible like we had hoped it would be 5-6 years later after we've had one of the biggest accessibility moments in the industry with The Last of Us Part 2. But the work is still happening, and I want to encourage you to still keep fighting the good fight, as it were. I personally have not had a great year. Just to kind of talk about, be a little bit candid with you. I've experienced loss, not just within folks who I cared about deeply in this industry, but also personally. I've also had moments where it felt like that the industry kind of abandoned some of us who are consultants. And I want to assure you that things are not as bleak as we may see on social media. Accessibility, again, is still happening. It's still happening in many amazing ways at video game studios. And if you're watching this and you're at least remotely interested in accessibility, or you are watching this even on IGN and you have no idea what these games that we're going to be talking about today, why they deserve to be winning these awards for accessibility, I encourage you to at least check them out and just be able to even go into the accessibility menu sometime, just to see what's available and what's there. And if you notice that there's a game that doesn't seem to have a lot of accessibility or even accessibility menu, it's okay to talk about it on social media. Even if you don't have a disability, it's still counts. Like, that feedback still matters. And that's about being, a good ally for us disabled folks. So if you are out there and you may not think either, A, I don't have a disability that qualifies, or I just don't know enough about accessibility, follow folks that are in this industry. Follow game designers, developers, consultants, content creators, and just everything in between, because we're talking about it. And if you don't know what to talk about, feel free to repost the post from us, because that helps spread our message far and wide. And the more people that can do that, our voices won't be silenced by potential fear of negativity or just negative sentiment, especially with, again, as the world is currently right now. We need you more than ever. And so for those of you who are who are helping and trying to be able to be a good ally for us, or just folks who are still pushing for accessibility internally, if you're the only champion within a game development team that is trying to push for accessibility, I hope this encourages you. Keep going, keep fighting, keep pushing for more accessibility, because your work matters and it helps, and it is so immensely appreciated for those of us who are disabled, because accessibility is human. Accessibility is, regardless of what you may think about even AI, accessibility is human. And AI may try to be able to add solutions for accessibility, they're just trying to be able to solve accessibility via a technical challenge, whereas accessibility is human, and we need humans to be able to keep making games accessible. And I know it's bleak right now, where a lot of studios are pushing towards AI and laying off people who were previously well employed and had a security as far as their job was concerned, and unfortunately are facing hard times right now. We see you. We want to help you as much as we can, but don't worry. I forgive me for being an optimist, but I think what we're doing is still worth fighting for. So, pardon the little rant, or even the little side tangent here and there, but this is just a little personal. It's not scripted, as you can tell, and I just wanted to encourage you. Accessibility is worth fighting for. All right, let's jump back into the awards. All right. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. We're celebrating 2025 with accessibility with 20 categories for you today, nominated and voted on by a combination of an expert panel of 25 judges and a public vote from the community. They cover a wide range of topics reflecting on how diverse the contributions are, from best indie to best academic research and everything in between. If you want to know more about the nominees and why they made it to the finals, head to gaconf.com. That's gaconf.com, and hit the awards section. Every finalist has a description and also has a link out to more info about their work. And you'll also find information about how the awards work too, including the voting process and who the judges are. All right, let's get into it. On with the show! We're going to jump straight into AAA excellence, accessibility in games that have big budgets and big teams. To present our first winner of the night, it makes me very happy to introduce Cameron Akit, accessibility researcher at Sony Interactive Entertainment. Take it away, Cameron.
Thanks, Steve, and hello, everyone. Accessibility in the AAA space takes a lot to bring about. Coordination and collaboration across teams that have hundreds or thousands of people spread across different locations, with all kinds of complexities in tech, process, workflow, systems, and so on. It really does take a village. And the impact from it is huge, so it's always fantastic to see AAAs managing to do great things for accessibility, and our finalists are all wonderful examples. And they are Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Doom: The Dark Ages, FC 26, and F1 25. And the winner of the 2025 Gaconf Award for AAA Excellence goes to FC26. FC26 has turned accessibility in PvP games on its head by allowing all new customizable gameplay high contrast modes to be used in any game mode. But that's just the start. They also have a wide range of other incredible features, from customizable UI to menu narration, configurable player indicator size to 1 and 2 button modes. A wide range of super customizable assists include things from dribbling to goalkeeper behavior too. They even showcased accessibility functionality directly in the game's main reveal trailer. And on top of this, the game has a yearly release cycle, so to achieve all of this is such an incredible achievement in the timescale. So a huge congratulations to every one of the people who managed to make this a reality. It is very well deserved and well done.
Congrats to FC26. I love it. I love seeing this game in the winning in this category. There's something else that I think is worth highlighting too. The lead studios on those games were Machine Games, Ubisoft Quebec, id Software, EA Vancouver, and Codemasters. I think that's the first time that any of those studios have been finalists at the Gaconf Awards, which I think says something pretty great about the trajectory that the industry is on. So huge congrats again to all of the many, many people involved in all of those games. And of course to the FC team, from the high contrast in PvP to accessibility in the reveal trailer. More of that, please. Yes, yes, yes. I hope your work goes on to influence many, many others. Ooh, look at that. A brand new category. We're at the point now that we have just so many great efforts that it was getting really hard to narrow down finalists for these broad categories. There's just so much great work that deserves recognition. So we separated out AA now to recognize accessibility in games with medium budgets and team sizes around 15 to about 50 people, maybe with the support from a big publisher. To announce this award, I'd like to welcome back one of last year's winners, Remy Bouton of Ubisoft, and more specifically, the fabulous Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Take it away, Remy.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you for having me. AA accessibility is an interesting middle ground, especially if you are a small team in a big company. You have the support of central resources and are able to take on some ambitious goals. You are small enough that you have good communication and everyone can take ownership, but you still have very strict limits on time, scope, and budget. It's an environment of intense pressures, but it can lead to great things, as the finalists are all proof of. The finalists are Abiotic Factor, Atomfall, The Rogue Prince of Persia, and South of Midnight. And the winner is Atomfall. Atomfall achieved a great deal. They designed accessibility in by default with their hints and lead flagging systems, segmented world, colorblind accessible interface, and so on. They offer a lot of flexibility for different needs too, from configurable subtitle presentation to a range of assists, high contrast mode to an interface that can be scalable to a very large size, and even audio-based first-person shooting. They continued after the launch too, including a wide range of phobia settings that replace Swarm of Animals with Swarm of Cornish Pasties, a traditional British snack. So if you ever wanted to be chased by hordes of baked goods, this is a game for you. Altogether, it's a great achievement. Congratulations.
Always fun to see humor and accessibility. Reminds me of the setting in Another Crab's Treasure where you give the crab a gun. I still love that. Games don't have to be serious all the time, and nor does accessibility. Congrats to everyone at Rebellion and the consultants they worked with too. I do want to point out something though. I think the one glaring accessibility mistake is who the heck is calling that red phone booth? I need to know. I need to know now. Let me calm down. Let's jump into our next category. Next up, we're heading over to indies. People often assume that accessibility is tied directly to how much time and money you have, but that isn't the case at all. For as long as game accessibility has been around, indies have been at the forefront each and every time. To announce this award, I'd like to welcome a wonderful advocate and consultant and friend, Elizabeth Silverson, aka Aravia. Take it away, friend.
Thank you so much, Steve, and thanks for having me back this year. The Indie Excellent category is for games made by small teams with small budgets. Working as an indie developer means making the most out of the agility, freedom, and direct relationship you have with your players. This year's finalists are great examples on how to use those to deliver a great experience to as many players as possible. And they are The Art of Fauna, Trash Goblin, Squeakcross, Peak, and An Unplayable Game. And the winner is The Art of Fauna. Huge congratulations to Clemens Strasser. His games over the past 10 years has always had a strong focus on accessibility. In fact, when coming up with the concept, his first two questions are, is it fun and can it be made accessible? And he scraps any idea where he can't answer yes to both. The Art of Fauna continues this. It's a virtual puzzle game that is fully blind accessible. It is also compatible with accessibility switches, has options for simplified languages, fonts, color schemes, and choices between matching images or text, and also a set of content filters for types of animals that might trigger phobias. You deserve the recognition, Clemens. Well done.
And by a solo developer too. It's a great example of what even the smallest indies can do. And you can't get any smaller by a single dev. And a lesson for everyone too. Think about accessibility from the very start, and I think this is the first time we've had a mobile game win in this category too. You love to see it. Ha ha!
Best.
For the next few categories, we're zooming in on specific audiences. Our first one is Best Deaf and Hard of Hearing Accessibility. To announce the winner, we're welcoming back our good friend, Morgan Baker, Accessibility Development Director at EA. Take it away, Morgan.
Hello, and thanks, Steve. It's great to be back. In the past, we've seen more and more studios pushing beyond basics to ensure deaf and hard of hearing players have equitable experiences, often resulting in better experiences for everyone. The 5 finalists are Assassin's Creed Shadows, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Ghost of Yotai, Doom the Dark Ages, and Abiotic Factor. And this year's award for Best Deaf and Hard of Hearing Accessibility goes to Assassin's Creed Shadows. Congratulations! This category had a really strong showing this year, with all the finalists prioritizing deaf and hard of hearing accessibility. Shadow's work ranged from detailed volume sliders to focus mix that prioritizes important gameplay sounds, as well as threat visualization, visual and haptic combat cues, and full conversation logs. And, of course, we have subtitles for speech, captions for sounds, which Ubisoft actually thrives in doing this, but they upped it this year in Shadows, where we saw highly configurable presentation, including like spacing and colors, as well as separate toggle for non-verbal dialogue sounds, extra indicators to communicate emotion and tone, and that's something we very rarely see in games today. So great work to everyone in Quebec and Kiev and anyone else who contributed to this wonderful win. Congratulations to you all.
Well said. It's a great example of how to keep pushing the bar and actually a good illustration of how designing for hearing loss benefits other audiences too. Ha! Congrats, AC! Love it! Our next category is Best Physical and Mobility. To announce the winner, we have the one and only Alex Carey, consultant, designer, and founder of Playability.
Thanks, Steve. Games can present a lot of barriers around controls and motor demands in general, making assumptions about our bodies that don't always match reality. This category celebrates developers working to avoid that. The 5 finalists for 2025 are Assassin's Creed Shadows, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown Mobile, Doom: The Dark Ages, Trash Goblin, and Battlefield 6. And the winner for Best Physical and Mobility Accessibility is Doom: The Dark Ages.
Doom tem acessibilidade?
Doom's fine-grained game speed setting is a literal game changer and something very rarely seen in FPS games. There's a whole host of other great things for motor accessibility here as well, from detailed remapping to auto weapon switching, shield auto-seeking, empowered attacks, auto sprint, all kinds of wonderful configuration goodies for things like projectile speed and parry windows. It's a very powerful suite of features, following their mantra of a Doom for all slayers. It enables access for people across a wide range of capabilities. Congratulations, fabulous work, and what a high watermark for the genre.
A Doom for all slayers. You love to see it. Full disclosure here, I did work with the Doom team on this one, so I know a lot of the people involved personally and just how much went into this. Congrats to you all. You definitely have earned it.
Tô comendo aqui. Vamos ver aqui.
The next category is Best Blind and Low Vision Accessibility. Something I'm personally, I really do appreciate. Back once again to tell us about the finalists is our good friend, Ross Miner. Take it away, Ross.
Thanks, Steve, and hi, everyone. Again, our finalists cover a wide range of accessibility for all degrees and types of sight loss, the full spectrum from the smallest indie studios to the largest AAA. And those finalists are Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, F125, FC26, Atomfall, and the Hades 2 Blind Accessibility mod. And the winner for Best Blind and Low Vision Accessibility is the Hades 2 Blind Accessibility mod. It's truly an impressive undertaking, adding things like screen reader support, adapting menus to provide more context for screen reader users, tweaking minigame timing for narration, and adding gameplay assists for navigation within environments, flashbacks, and shops. The project was started by a solo dev named Irumi. He wasn't able to finish it, so an individual by the name of Tomas Torek, a blind consultant who you all may know as Liren111, stepped in to continue the development himself. It's a great example of how one person can make a huge difference in their community. It's an ongoing project, but it's already made a huge impact in the lives of those who are now able to play this beloved game where they couldn't before, including myself. I literally play this game all the time when I'm flying. Many congratulations, it's truly a great piece of work.
It's a clear message to the industry too. Mods like this exist to fill a gap and meet a need. Instead of the community resorting to mods, you yourself, if you're a developer, can fill that gap yourself instead and make your games accessible by default. And there are people like Irumi and Liren out there showing you how to do it, who you should be learning from and hiring to make it happen. There's a ton to learn from and be inspired by across all the finalists. Ross wasn't kidding about the diversity of efforts there. From high contrast modes and text scaling to audio-based racing and FPS shooting for totally blind players. Again, if you're curious about what all the finalists did, check out the awards page at Gaconf. That's GACONF.com. Hit it up. We want to see you amongst the finalists next year. Next up, we have Best Cognitive Accessibility. Our presenter for this is the fabulous Shell Little.
Hello, everyone. Cognitive accessibility is a really broad field, from neurodivergency to cognitive and learning disabilities. This field covers everything from working memory to cognitive load, overwhelm, and distraction. Because of its scope, it can sometimes feel intimidating, but at the end of the day, cognitive accessibility is just good design that benefits all players, as we can see with our finalists, which are Sweetgrass, Atomfall, Assassin's Creed Shadows, The Rogue Prince of Persia, and Doom: The Dark Ages. And the winner for 2025 is Sweetgrass. Sweetgrass is a nonogram game like Pitcross. Nonograms are numerical logic puzzles, which present all kinds of cognitive barriers, from math to memory to complex logic problem solving. Traditionally, not a very accessible type of game at all. But Alblum turned that on its head by questioning all of the usual genre conventions, adding things like the ability to show all logical possibilities for a line, next step indications, immediately flagging mistakes, auto-counting while dragging, no timers or mistake penalties, and a whole lot more. Some are by design, like each action having a unique visual and sound, and row and column highlighting, but others are setting-based. With this game, options are all turned on by default, so the highest level of accessibility is the baseline experience. Players can then layer on complexity and extra ways to challenge themselves by turning aids off. It's a game that's solely about numbers and mathematical logic, but they had players with dyscalculia tell them how accessible it was for them. And as always, with cognitive accessibility, all that they've done is great quality of life for all players too. It's truly a great achievement. Congratulations on the deserved win.
Those congrats cover the accessibility consultants they worked with for too. So great work by absolutely everyone. They also did a really nice talk about their work at the most recent Gaconf conference a few months back. There's a link to that from the awards page on the Gaconf website. The next category is for Best Mental Health Accessibility. For this, we're welcoming back a familiar face, Dr. Rachel Cowart.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, Steve. 2025 has been another year of growth in the way that developers across the industry have been considering accessibility for trauma, phobias, and other mental health conditions. The finalists we are recognizing today are Abiotic Factor, Atomfall, Art of Fauna, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, and Date Everything. And the winner for 2025 is Abiotic Factor. Abiotic Factor takes a range of phobias into account, including settings for emetophobia, which is the fear of vomiting, trypanophobia, the intense fear of needles and medical procedures, and arachnophobia. Spiders. It's always spiders. Abiotic Factor isn't the first game to consider mesophobia, but the implementation is unique, with a range of sliders for different classes of triggering sound, pairing that together with directly cutting sounds from the audio files where they occurred during dialogue. Both the solution and the process show great commitment, and it's wonderful to see something that was founded in such detailed research. You're speaking to me now. Congratulations and well-deserved.
Absolutely stunning, great, amazing, and all the other adjectives in between. Great work. And they've had feedback from players with everything from tinnitus, migraines, and autism saying the settings help them too. As always, when designing for one, you solve for many. Congrats again to Kate and everyone else at Deepfield Games. And with that, our first set of awards is complete. So we're going to take a short break. See you in a few minutes.
Introducing accessibility features. Whether you want your watch on your left or right hand, you can choose what suits you. And whether you play this game seated or standing up, we can accommodate for your needs. And we also have a variety of locomotion controls, so you can customize how you like to crouch, move, and turn. And if you find that some of these rooms are a bit busy or there's too much going on, you can turn on goal highlighting, helping you find and locate the objective. And sometimes, when the enemy attacks, it can be too fast or a little bit too much at once. But we allow you to slow down time, giving you the extra moments to dip, dodge, duck, and dive. And finally, for those with limited mobility, we've added the option to extend your reach. Unseen Diplomacy 2. It's out on early access now!
There's a lot of innovation relative to game accessibility, but at the moment it can be hard to figure out if the game's accessibility features are compatible with my needs.
There are currently a number of labeling and tagging systems in the marketplace. The Accessible Games Initiative seeks to simplify the use of tags for as many games as possible to help players understand what to expect. An incredible example of what happens when companies come together for the greater good.
For more than 10 years, Play Research has supported game developers to build accessible and approachable experiences. Hundreds of games reaching billions of players, and we're ready to do even more. To make games accessible, helping teams deliberately design their games to include their disabled players.
To learn more about any of these services, please reach out to accessibility@playresearch.com.
If you were to make a blind accessible game in a month, what would it be like? They can be about exploring. They can be cozy.
Hi, I'm Zoe, your coworker. Welcome to your first day at the cafe. Your job...
Strategic.
B2. Flanked.
They can be dramatic.
I must have been a fish in one of my previous lives.
Or adventurous.
Canal. Now my blade will blur in the wind. Levunado.
Or anything you want them to be. Join our 5th annual Game Jam starting February 2026 and help make gaming a more accessible space for everyone.
Hello and welcome back. I hope you were able to hydrate during the raid. This is water, not an adult beverage. Okay. Before we carry on with the next set of awards, excuse me, a quick reminder for anyone just joining us that we have captions, audio description, and both BSL and ASL available. I can't wait to see how that gets translated into audio description and ASL. Info on that is in the description below. For the next block of awards, we're recognizing some of the things that are adjacent to and complementary to the design considerations in games that we've been talking about so far. The first is best representation. For this, we're welcoming back again our good friend, Jay Justice. Hi, Jay.
Thanks, Steve. Nice to be here again. This year's finalists cover a wide range of representation, from renderings of assistive tech through to lived experience of adjusting to limb loss and in-game characters being modeled on and acted by disabled people. Those finalists are Axel in Stumble Guys, Hazard in Overwatch, Angelina Bruno in Just Dance 2026, Jan Miner in The Alters, and Daniel in Wildwood Down. This year's winner of Best representation is Angelina Bruno in Just Dance 2026. Angelina is a professional dancer with limb loss who is represented as a coach in Just Dance 2026. Her work for the game was accompanied by a great behind-the-scenes video, which is powerful representation in itself. As Angelina herself said, the message was really about identification. so someone who looks like me could say, it's not impossible for me to dance. Role models and representation in media is vitally important, and this is a great example. Congratulations to Angelina and the team at Ubisoft Paris.
It's not the first example of disability representation in the Just Dance series, and long may it continue. Congrats again. Our next category is Best Accessibility Journalism. To present this, we have the wonderful Kennedy Griggs, also known as Dynamic Reactions.
Hello, and thank you, Steve. Whether it's signal boosting lived experiences and elevating marginalized voices, giving insight into development, sharing good practices, or exploring disability culture, journalism plays a vital role in the field of accessibility, and it's improving year after year. Our finalists for Best Journalism 2025 are How a Small Team is Helping to Move Accessibility Forward, One Thumbstick at a Time, by Vivek Gohil. Former employees, community members, allege Able Gamers founder fostered abuse behind closed doors, by Grant Stoner. Democratizing Horror, How Megacat Studios Brought Accessibility to Five Nights at Freddy's, by Madison Petrick. Diablo 4, Second Anniversary Interview with Drew McRoy, by Antonio Martinez. And Don't Call Your Video Game Accessible for Everyone, by Laura Kate Dale. And this year's winner is Antonio Martinez. Congratulations. This was a wonderful interview with Drew McCoy, offering a deep look behind the curtain at accessibility in Diablo 4 at launch and over the 2 subsequent years and on into the future. It combines a personable conversational style with the thorough attention to detail and extensive knowledge of the subject matter that is a hallmark of Antonio's work. Combined with Drew's openness, it leads to a fantastic piece of work, stacked full of valuable insights for both players and developers alike. It's a great read and a great resource. Congratulations to Antonio and, of course, to Drew as well. Back to you, Steve.
Heck yeah! Yes! This is Antonio's first time winning this category, and well deserved. But it was a great year for journalism, so please do go and read all the finalist articles. They're all wonderful and all greatly benefit the community in their own ways. As always, you can find all the links in the awards section on gaconf.com. That's gaconf.com. Please support independent media outlets in the gaming space. We need them now more than ever, especially those who talk about accessibility at those outlets. There you go. Our next category celebrates academic research that furthers the field of game accessibility. The nominating and judging for this category works a bit differently because of journal paywalls. So again, if you'd like to know more about that or anything else about how the awards work, there's info at gaconf.com. That's gaconf.com at the bottom of the awards page. To present this award, I'm very happy to introduce Dr. Catherine Gerling, Professor of HCI and Accessibility at Karlsruhe Institute of Technology. Apologize if I got any of that pronunciation wrong. I'm sorry. Blind moment.
Thank you, Steve. It's wonderful to be here for another year of celebrating academic research on game accessibility. And this year's finalists are all great contributions to the ever-growing body of knowledge, and the papers are: How users who are blind or low vision play mobile games, perceptions, challenges, and strategies. Punch Pulse, a physically demanding virtual reality boxing game designed with, for, and by blind and low vision players. Designing and evaluating a VR boxing experience with blind people. Inclusive avatar guidelines for people with disabilities, supporting disability representation in social virtual reality. And last but not least, VR captions, designing captions for deaf and hard of hearing users in multiplayer communication in VR. And now, the winner of this year's award for Best Academic Research is How Users Who Are Blind or Low Vision Play Mobile Games. And this is a really lovely paper with an uncommon level of insight into the lives and the social and cultural factors of blind or low vision mobile gamers in China. And it's unfortunately still rare to see research cover non-Western settings. And both the mobile and the Chinese market are hugely important, but underaddressed in accessibility research and also in accessibility practice. What the jury found especially noteworthy about the paper is that the research is underpinned by solid methodology, so it's really well executed, and that the study has an impressive sample size for this kind of work. So excellent research, highly relevant. Many congratulations to Jie Ran and everyone else who contributed to this paper.
It's always great to see academic research that so squarely hits exactly what the industry needs. The other papers are all great too, from inclusive avatar design to VR captioning, lots there to dig into. There are links to all of them on the awards page of gaconf.com. Say it with me, gaconf.com. Congrats again. The next category is for assistive tech accessibility that comes from hardware or software outside the games themselves. To present the winner, we have someone who knows all about that, Tyler Fenty from Makers Making Change. Take it away, Tyler.
Thanks, Steve. Through our work, we see a lot of people's innovative and creative problem solving, and the tremendous impact it can make to a player's experiences and lives. The finalists all did a fantastic job of that, and they are the Xbox Adaptive Joystick, the Steam Deck Accessibility Update, the PlayStation 5 Audio Focus, the Nintendo Switch 2, and the BioWave Proteus Builder. And the winner is the BioWave Proteus Builder. It's an elegant and economic addition to the range. The way that it combines with the ergonomic shell to form a desktop device in the vein of the Razer Tartarus is really inspired. And with both left-hand and universal variants, something that's seen far too rarely. Great work from the BioWave team. Congratulations.
Heck yeah! 2 years in a row for BioWave. Can they make it a three-peat next year? Only one way to find out. Make sure to tune in next year for Gaconf Awards 2026. Either way, congrats again to Brandon and the rest of the team on the win. Our next category is for Best Resource, covering both resources for players and for developers. To present this category, we have Emilian Chason of Player Research. Hi, Ame!
Thanks, Steve. Sharing information and knowledge plays a vital part in pushing accessibility forward. All of our finalists are an embodiment of how open and collaborative the field of accessibility is. So without further ado, here are the finalists for Best Resource of 2025. Able to Play, the Accessible Games Initiative, Chroma, Unity 6.3's upgraded screen reader functionality, and accessibility support in Godot 4.5. It's a stellar set of finalists, but we do only have one winner, and that winner is, drumroll, the Accessible Games Initiative. Congratulations. AGI is a piece of work established to have common language and criteria around accessibility features, which can then be used to standardize tagging systems in storefronts and games officials' websites. It's a very thorough piece of work backed by a large amount of research with players, but what really makes it unique is the partnership and collaboration behind it, with a range of professionals and companies from Xbox and Nintendo, from EA to Ubisoft, all working together with the ESA. There are 9 member companies who are working on this project and developing it further and getting it rolled out to as many stores and official game websites as possible. Inability to make informed purchases has always been a persistent barrier for many players, so it's really incredible to see key industry members all working together to make headway on it. So congratulations again, and thank you to all of the hundreds of people who have made it a reality. Back to you, Steve.
Y'all, I gotta tell you something. It's hard enough coordinating a project within a single company, let alone between multiple big corporations. It's an incredible achievement, and that's underestimating the incredible achievement it actually was. We've never seen a partnership like this. I hope it continues and grows and leads to other great things in the future. The next category is for Best Comms and Marketing. And to present this award, we're welcoming back Vanessa Brassfield, also known as Pleasantly Twisted. Would you believe we've known each other for several years and we only got to meet for the first time at the Game Awards this past month? Small world, but finally, hi PT.
Thank you so much, Steve. This category is about the efforts to share and promote accessibility work, but ensuring that we're doing so in an accessible way. From events to trailers to info pages and showcases, these are all vital ways of both communicating with and building relationships within the community. Our finalists for 2025 are the Atomfall Accessibility Overview Trailer, the FC26 Accessibility and Reveal Trailer, the Accessible Games Initiative GDC Reveal, the Switch 2 Accessibility Information Page, and finally, the Kirby Air Riders Nintendo Direct stream. And your winner for 2025 Best Marketing and Communications is the Atomfall Accessibility Overview Trailer. It's increasingly common and absolutely vital for developers to share information about accessibility before launch, so players can make informed purchase decisions, get those pre-orders in, and actually feel able to get on board the hype train knowing that they will be able to play. The Atomfall team really took this to the next level. As well as their detailed information pages, they also produced a 6-minute video featuring their accessibility lead, developers from across multiple disciplines, and one of the game's disabled consultants discussing their lived experience as well, not only providing information, but deeper insight too. Great work by everybody involved, and congratulations to the Atomfall team. Back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Vanessa. There's a common theme from those past 2 winners, right? It is so important not only to let people have the info that they need, but also feel equally valued as customers too. Which I think is a great note to end part 2 on. See you after the break for the final set of winners. I'm gonna go fill up on more hydration.
Hi, I'm Tyler Fenty, Accessible Gaming Lead with Makers Making Change, a program of the Neil Squire Society. We run Canada's largest accessible gaming program, focused on removing barriers so more people can play. We do this in a few key ways. First, we share a library of open source, low-cost assistive technology. This includes gaming tools like assistive switches, switch modifiers, joysticks, and controller adaptations, as well as non-gaming devices like aids of daily living, adapted toys, and technology for digital access. All designs come with step-by-step instructions that can be built anywhere, often for a fraction of the cost of commercial options. Second is our Game Checkpoints program. We work with clinics, community hubs, schools, and game developers to help them create accessible gaming spaces that fit their community. These centers are trained, supported, and connected through a national network, allowing them to share knowledge, test new technology, and advance accessibility together. Since 2023, we've grown to 11 Game Checkpoints and have supported over 440 gamers. We also offer game kits for Canadian organizations, making it easy to showcase adaptive gaming at events or in community spaces. And finally, we support gamers directly, helping them build or improve on a setup that works for them. Learn more at makersmakingchange.com.
Fit Bits and Bops is a collection of original rhythm minigames. Filled with catchy music, snappy gameplay, and gorgeous hand-drawn animation, Bits and Bops is sure to brighten your day. Bits and Bops is designed to be completely playable without sighted assistance. The game supports text-to-speech narration, with additional narration available to describe visual elements, helping to provide context to each minigame.
An instruction manual sits slightly askew on a wooden table. The camera zooms in to make the top 2 boxes fill the frame. The blocks move smoothly from box 1 to box 2.
Bits and Bops features more than 20 rhythm minigames, and, with their custom game engine, you can rely on lightning-fast response times as you bop along to the beat. Bits and Bops, out now on Steam.
Find accessible games that meet your needs on Able to Play. Your personal score shows how well a game supports your needs. Your score for every game is unique, just like you. We've also heard from gamers that it's tough to find creators who make accessible content. So we built the new Discover Creators area, where you can find creators with their bios, links, accessibility tags, and how their games rank with your personal score. All verified by the Able to Play team and available now for free at abletoplay.com.
Everyone deserves to play the games they love on the platform they choose. Unity 6.3 brings that vision closer. Native screener support now covers Windows and macOS, expanding what we started with mobile in Unity 6.0. With one API across 4 platforms, it is now easier than ever to support screen readers. The API works with any UI framework. It is enabled in every new project, and you'll find it in the package manager for existing projects. The next part is yours. Use Unity's accessibility APIs and design the accessible experience your game needs. For millions, games remain inaccessible. Let's change it together.
Le message, c'était vraiment l'identification. Quelqu'un qui me ressemble puisse se dire « Ah ben ça m'empêche pas de danser ». Je pense qu'inclure de plus en plus dans les maps et dans les jeux vidéo, c'est juste une évidence. Pouvoir se caler à la réalité et pouvoir être en adéquation avec ce qui se passe autour de nous. Et puis ça permet aux personnes qui nous ressemblent d'avoir ces symboles et ces représentations. Donc c'est double positif pour moi. Je pense que le jeu vidéo est vraiment une grande porte ouverte à tous les âges. Et c'est ça qui est génial, c'est familial, c'est aussi beaucoup pour les enfants. Donc c'est quand même la jeune génération, celle qui s'habitue. Plus elle va voir, plus elle s'habitue. Et j'espère que les joueurs vont kiffer la map Kittypo. Et j'ai trop hâte de voir les réactions, de voir les commentaires. Et j'espère qu'ils y mettront beaucoup de joie.
Just Dance 2026 edition. Available now.
And welcome back. And with that, it is time for our final set of awards. These are unique categories to celebrating some special work, special companies, and also special people. Our first is about improvement. Gaming takes steps to upgrade accessibility after launch. To best present this category, we're delighted to welcome back our friend and yours, Sightless Combat.
Thank you so much for the welcome, Steve, and hello everyone! It's great to be back for another year of the Gaconf Awards. As Steve said, this award is all about incremental progress, building on what existed before through patches, remasters, remakes, or mods. And the finalists for this year have all done a tremendous job of this. They are Sea of Thieves, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown Mobile, Star Wars Outlaws, Roblox, and the Hades 2 Blind Accessibility mod. Now, without further ado, the winner for Most Improved this year is the Hades 2 Blind Accessibility mod. You've heard a bit about how this mod works already tonight, with its combination of screen reader access, optimizations, and navigational assists. However, where this project really stands out is the way it opens up a game and a genre to an audience who were previously excluded. And believe me when I say we are all craving this kind of agency and inclusion. Even just personally, I have poured over 100 hours into Hades 2 as a direct result of this mod's existence, and I've had so much fun being able to enjoy an acclaimed game that would otherwise be off limits to me. The fact that this mod was taken through to release by someone who is totally blind is a perfect illustration, not just that blind gamers are out there and want to spend our money on your games, but we want to work with you to help you to enable that. So many congratulations to Irumi and especially to Lirin, aka Tomas. I know how long you have been fighting for accessibility, and you absolutely deserve this recognition. Congratulations to everybody involved on this one, and it is a fantastic achievement.
Well said, bud. As always, nothing about us without us, right? Congrats again on your second win of the night. Our next award is for Greatest Accessibility Innovation, which is a celebration of new steps forward for the industry. To announce this category, we have Lisha Pren of Netflix Finland. Take it away, Lisha.
Hi everyone, thanks so much Steve. 2025 saw a huge range of innovations, many of which you've already heard about today. And it was super difficult for the jury to whittle it down to the finalists, but those finalists are the Iris Epilepsy Testing Plugin, FC26's High Contrast Settings, Atom Falls Text Scaling, the Accessible Games Initiative, and Assassin's Creed Shadows Emotion Subtitles. And the winner of 2025's Greatest Accessibility Innovation is... dramatic pause, drum roll, FC26! The high contrast settings are noteworthy in themselves, letting you configure custom overlays for players and ball, turn off pitch shadows, and desaturate the background. But what really makes this stand out is the ability to use them in all game modes. That makes FC26 the first AAA competitive game to allow this kind of functionality for player versus player. And FC26 is one of the most popular games on the planet, with a staggering amount of people playing it every day, and high visibility among not just players but also developers. So this is one of those innovations that has the opportunity to drive really broad change in our industry. Congratulations to everyone who helped blaze the trail for our industry. It is much deserved.
Absolutely. So to all you devs who work in PvP out there, you now have FC26 did it, so we should do as ammo. And as we heard before, this was all done within the game's 1-year dev cycle. If you don't know game development, that's some pretty big, just underrated things right there. So just saying, that's difficult to accomplish, which makes it all the more impressive. Fabulous work. Our next categories are ones that are always closely contested. The first is Most Dedicated Publisher. To present this, we're joined by Daniela Decker, Executive Director of the Accessible Games Initiative at the Entertainment Software Association. Take it away, Daniela.
Hello, and thank you, Steve. Through my work on the Accessible Games Initiative, I've had the pleasure of getting to know some of the many people spearheading accessibility at the publishing companies in our industry. Driving change across large organizations is a tremendous feat that really does take a village. The work of all of our finalists over the past year has truly been impressive and remarkable. And those 5 finalists are Electronic Arts, Ubisoft, Xbox, Bethesda, and PlayStation. And the winner is Electronic Arts. Today, it has been a spectacular year of recognition for EA. You've heard a lot about FC26 already today, And they've achieved so many great things across the rest of their portfolio too. From Split Fiction to F1 25, from College Football 26 to Battlefield 6. And it didn't stop just at games either. From their work as part of the Accessible Games Initiative to the expansion of their patent pledge, and to the release of the free Iris photosensitivity plugin for Unreal Engine. Many, many congratulations to the people across the company who put so much work into making all of these things possible. And of course, congratulations once again to Morgan Baker and her tremendous team. Luke, Roberto, and Andrew, congratulations to you all. And once again, go EA.
Ubisoft had a great couple of years at the top of this category, but I know David over at Ubi will be feeling very pleased for EA right now. With 11 nominations across 7 categories, 2025 really was EA's year. It's wonderful to see. Congrats again. Next, we have Most Dedicated Studio. To present the winner for this category, I'm going to hand over to Lauren Radford, also known as Radders. Hi, friend.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you to the Gaconf Awards for having me host the Most Dedicated Studio Award. This is such an honor for me, not just as an accessibility consultant, but as a disabled gaming content creator, because to me, one of the coolest things a studio can do is show a commitment to accessibility. And there are now so many studios full of talented, passionate people doing fantastic accessibility work, and they are all thoroughly deserving of recognition. The finalists for this year's Most Dedicated Studio Award are AgroCrab, id Software, Rare, Massive Entertainment, and Clemens Strasser. And the winner is... Rare! Sea of Thieves has been out for 7 years now, and they're still pushing out accessibility updates all of the time. In 2025 alone, they've added things like upgraded controller remapping, emetophobia settings for both player and pets, configurable FOV, new settings for menu navigation, single key radial menu alternative, and text overlays allowing riddle maps to be read at a much larger size. This award is for dedication, and their dedication is something that the whole industry should take inspiration from. Many congratulations to everybody on the team at Rare.
You know, I'm honestly actually shocked that it has taken until now for Rare to win Most Dedicated Studio. Their unwavering commitment to accessibility is almost a meme at this point. Congratulations, very well deserved. All right, y'all, hang in there. We've got 2 more awards for the show, and this one recognizes special individuals. The first is the MVP Award for Unsung Heroes. To present this, we have last year's winner, Carrie Waterton.
Thanks, Steve. This award recognizes the huge amount of people passionately working behind the scenes to push the whole industry forwards. This year's MVPs are Paul Parsons of EA, Luke Hinu of EA, Holly Westcott of Amazon, Elizabeth White of Bethesda, and Tulai Titica McNally of Scopely. And the winner of the MVP award for Unsung Hero is Elizabeth White. Elizabeth is an absolute powerhouse, bringing accessibility best practices to ZeniMax, Bethesda, and Xbox Game Studios. Ensuring that the voices of disabled players are included in user research and directly supporting games like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Doom the Dark Ages, and many more. As is often the case with MVPs, she works in other areas too, including helping to write marketing and informational materials to let players make informed purchases and help everybody join in on the hype. Elizabeth, you've been a powerful force for accessibility for many years, but in 2025, we saw your work bear fruit in many impressive ways. You deserve all of the recognition for everything that you do. Huge congratulations.
Hey, every company needs their own Elizabeth. And I'm not saying that just because I worked with her on Doom the Dark Ages and she's absolutely amazing at what she does and she deserves all the recognition and the awards that she said. Anyway, every studio needs an Elizabeth. I love to see the recognition of superstars in this category. Congrats again to you, Elizabeth, and all the other finalists too. And now it's time for today's final award, the Advocacy Award, recognizing a person who has been using their voice to drive change across the industry. To announce our final winner, we have someone who needs no introduction, but I'll introduce him anyway, the one and only David Tisserand, Director of Accessibility at Ubisoft.
Thank you, Steve. It's a pleasure to be back today, and particularly to be announcing this category. We can see from everything that we've heard today that accessibility is still spreading and advancing a great deal. And a big reason for that is advocacy. Advocacy is the reason why we even have a game accessibility field to begin with, and a big part of how and why we're still making progress. The finalists today are all wonderful advocates, passionate people who push and inspire us all across the industry to keep doing better. And those finalists are Elizabeth Sigurdsen, also known as Arivia, Laura Kedell, Jesse Anderson, aka Illegally Cited, Antonio Martinez, and Rodrigo Sanchez. So, who is the final winner of today's ceremony? It makes me very happy to announce that the 2025 Advocacy Award winner is, drumroll at home, Arivia. Congratulations, Arivia. I know it's been an amazing year for you with public speaking, running both conference and in-studio accessibility workshops, frequent content creation, including the Control Alt Access show you're running with Laura, advocating on the Norwegian Film Institute's Game Culture Group, building accessibility reference resources, consulting on games, and even presenting one of the winners today at the Gaconf Awards. So Arivia is never shy about calling out things that need to be called out, but also celebrating what needs to be celebrated. And it's always done in the clever, funny, and engaging style that underpins all her content creation. Elizabeth, despite the fact that we will no longer get to see your Leonardo DiCaprio cosplay, I know there will be many people cheering for you right now. You're a wonderful and much-loved pillar of the game accessibility community, and it has been a joy to see you bouncing back so thoroughly from hard times. Congratulations, Arivia, from the bottom of my heart. You deserve this win. Back to you, Steve.
Honestly, what more can I say? David nailed it. Elizabeth, you are an abso-freaking-lutely worthy winner. We all hope that 2026 treats you as well as 2025 did. And to everyone watching, the finalists are all absolutely fantastic. I use that word, abso-freaking-lutely fantastic. I'll use that word again. If you aren't already following them, then throwing a follow is an easy way to give your social media a big upgrade. Congrats again to you, Elizabeth, and to all our other winners and finalists too across all of the categories. We love and appreciate all of you. That was our final category, and what a great year. So much fantastic work to be inspired by and learn from. Accessibility can be a tough gig at times, like I said at the beginning, so it's always great to be able to see a collection like this showing how much is being done across the industry and including a whole bunch of who haven't previously won too, which is a great sign of the way things are heading. I want to thank the Gaconf for allowing me to be able to host this award show once again. For those who don't know me, I'm Steve Saylor. You can be able to follow me at Steve Saylor on pretty much all socials everywhere, and I would love it to be able to chat more and, you know, talk about more accessibility. And now back over to Tara for some closing words. Take it away, Tara.
Thank you so much, Steve. I love having you host this event, and I think it's a fantastic way to start the year and get people more excited about game accessibility. Now, some of you are probably pumped and jazzed and ready for the next Gaconf event. Well, we'll have more news coming soon, but a few things I can share. Our next one will be our UK edition this upcoming April, but we are making some changes. This one will be fully online, but that means it's completely free for you to attend. Now, if you're still going to look for an in-person fix, don't worry. We are looking to have an in-person meetup at Develop in Brighton this summer. More details to come later. Now, putting together an event like this does take a substantial amount of work, so I do want to take a moment to thank everyone involved. At top of the list, I want to thank Ian Hamilton, the co-director of the Game Accessibility Conference, who did a ton of work behind the scenes to make this happen. I want to thank all of our vendors who helped make this an accessible event by offering ASL, BSL, captions, and audio description. I want to thank all of the presenters and jurors who took time to contribute to this, and I want to thank you, the viewers, right now who are watching this, because it means so much that you're here. And I actually do want to take a moment to thank those who financially contribute and make this possible. So, for those who don't know, the Game Accessibility Conference is only able to be put on because of our sponsors, and we take the leftover money from those sponsorships to put on things like these awards. So I wanted to take a moment to thank our gold and silver sponsors from the 2025 events. So at gold, I want to thank Sony Interactive Entertainment and Xbox, and at silver, I want to thank Rockstar Games, Amazon Games, Descriptive Video Works, the Accessible Games Initiative, and Riot. Without help from companies like these and our additional bronze sponsors, we wouldn't have the budget to do something like this, and it means so much. Now, of course, there is the most important group of people to thank, all of our nominees and winners, because without their tireless work and dedication, we wouldn't be here. These people are the individuals pushing the industry forward to be more inclusive, more accessible, and more welcoming to disabled gamers. So with that, we're gonna roll the winner's wheel and we can enjoy their sweet, sweet victory one more time.
Hora 51 minutos e 15 segundos. 1h35 minutos e 1h35 minutos e 43 segundos. Clicável atalho de teclado silenciado.
Do nosso evento Acessibilidade, gostei muito do que eu vi. Quero ter contato com todas as pessoas que entraram falar aqui no painel Acessibilidade. Quero entrar em contato com todos eles para poder contar a eles a minha história. Eu falei com a pessoa da PlayStation agora aqui, quando estava gravando aqui o evento.
Mute, M. Desative o mudo, M.
Do que eu conversei com eles. Falaram que fizeram um repórter para mim. Eu vou fazer até um vídeo, mas até sugeriram fazer o vídeo. Para poder botar no canal e mandar para alguém lá dentro da PlayStation americana. Então, muito obrigado a todos por me acompanharem. Estão todos nominados, categorias. Todos por me acompanhar aqui no canal. E eles todos do fundo do meu coração. E nos vemos nos próximos vídeos aqui no canal. Muito obrigado.
Clicável Prêmios de Acessibilidade
por me acompanhar. Valeu.
1h37 minutos e 6 segundos. Volume deslizante.
This is
50.
most dedicated. I'm trying again.
These are numerical logic puzzles which present all kinds of cognitive barriers from maths, Ian Hamilton, maths, not British, math.
Got time by Vivek Gohill. Vivek Gohill.
I'm gonna do another one. It's only 750, we're fine.
But don't worry, we're looking on, making beats for points on bitch.
And there are people like Emery. Damn it. Try that again.
Abiotic Factor takes a range of phobias into account, including settings for emetophobia, trypanophobia, and arachnophobia. I think they gave me this category thinking I'd be able to pronounce those correctly, and I'm sorry, I tried.
Gottes Assassins.
Ooh, look at that! A brand new category! That was a weird Scooby-Doo accent. Let me try that again.
For all players, including those who are deaf and hard of hearing. Wait, I just literally didn't do the script. I'm just making shit up.
I don't even know what number this is. I've lost track. And I'm slowly losing the will to live.
Meu Deus. Muito bem, agora sim, galera. Muito bem por me acompanharem. Espero que tenham gostado. Como gostei do evento. Vocês também, né? Eu me adiantei, né? Então, vou mostrar para vocês aqui o meu
Iniciar
Facebook.
janela. Dar conta de usuário para Marquitos. Tela, Facebook, exibição de tarefa,
Pode mandar para mim os links
Facebook,
desses
uma janela em execução, status, 4
funcionários que
itens,
apareceram no
e o
vídeo.
Marquitos
Aqui. Ó, eu vou
Facebook,
certificar que seja o link verdadeiro, hein?
134, DG
Agora
iniciar
o próximo
janela,
link que eu vou aparecer aqui no
recomendar e no
Instagram.
Instagram, exibição, foto by Marquitos presente.
Então, aí está. Meu Instagram. Então, muito obrigado a todos por me acompanharem nessa live de hoje. E amanhã temos mais. Valeu, falou. E eu.
134, DG Gaconf Access Ability Awards 2025, YouTube, pessoal Microsoft Edge janela. Iniciar janela. Recomendar Avast OBS Avast Secure OBS 20 inicia interromper transmissão.
Atenção, hein? Que me tirasse o sono depois do almoço. Pois, meu. Fui.